Thought Bubble Audio.
I feel like every week there's another reboot to the point where even my nostalgia has nostalgia.
And yet it's just providing us content, Frank. Here we are talking about it with a beer in hand.
Look, up in the sky.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my man who loves nostalgia like he loves Russian egg dolls. It's Frank. How are you today?
Oh, I do love them. I do love Russian nesting dolls. I don't have any,
It's like
but I do find
nostalgia within nostalgia within nostalgia within nostalgia within nostalgia. Oh, what a baby idea.
teeny tiny nostalgia inside.
Just teeny tiny nostalgia. Yeah, like when you remember like a pair of sneakers you had when you were 8. That's baby nostalgia.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Can't do anything with it. It's nothing. There's nowhere. There's nowhere for it to go. Can't franchise it, but
It's just
it's there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing okay, Frank. I am recovering from illnesses, and so I'm probably going to cough into the microphone at some point. I will try to mute myself as best I can, but just in case,
For your only
I'm
healing.
telling everybody now. So it's all good. Frank, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I am, we are heading into the we got the first snow, the first like hint of snow today.
Did you have anything stick? Because we had like 4 flakes.
Yeah, no,
fall,
we had
and it was
flurries.
like-
We just had flurries,
Yeah.
but it was yeah, not real. But the first hint of snow, and it just was like, up, we are, we're there. We're at that time of year. Seems like just a minute ago fall was starting, and already here we are at the first snow. So, yeah, here we are. Here we are.
Are you drinking?
I'm drinking something that I think is actually kind of appropriate for what we're going to talk about today. This is a Throwback Brewery Stout number 3 is what they call it. It is an American stout, deliciously smooth jet black American stout with caramel colored head, full body, and full body, you're telling me, and big roasty flavors of coffee and dark chocolates. It has pairing suggestions, Tim. And the pairing suggestions are burgers, chili, French meat pie. That's very specific.
Yeah,
I
that's
love.
very good though. Got some great pairing.
Yeah. Oh, my father-in-law makes it for Christmas Eve every year. It's
Nice. Yeah, that's what we
should
growing up.
save one of these to have with that pie.
Yes, that's a good idea, Frank.
French meat pie, carnitas tacos, and of course, alongside some sweet desserts like chocolate truffles.
Wow, nice.
And it is
Nice.
Yeah, it is coffee. It is lovely. It is roasty and coffee and dark chocolate. All right, you know what? The description is accurate. I like this a lot.
That's wonderful.
And I've got 3 more to go, so yeah, I'm going to save at least one for Christmas.
Excellent. It does sound very tasty. I am actually really jealous in comparison to what I am drinking myself.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
Well, tell me
It's
about it. Tell me
like-
about it.
What's a throwback of a different kind, Frank? It's a throwback to last month. I'm drinking a Sam Adams Octoberfest.
Oh, remember October? That was fun.
I do remember October. It was pretty good all around. Pretty good.
I like that one.
Now I just have 2 left, so I gotta like clear them out.
Yeah,
You know?
I still got a couple pumpkin ales and stuff that I got to get rid of, but yeah.
Pumpkin's okay. It's different. I feel like
It's still seasonal, right?
In Thanksgiving, you can stretch that pumpkin all the way through Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oktoberfest is very specific.
It's true.
It's for the festival of October. It's very specific.
Yeah.
So
No, it's true.
So anyway, but Frank, you are you're drinking the throwback ale, and you love your Russian nesting dolls. You know, you like your stuff within 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 your stuff.
Yeah.
So
Geek cordon bleu.
I want to talk about the like constant retro resurgence, like how the 80s and 90s, like, or even before that, right? It's just, this is decades long. Like you get about 30 years out and everyone goes, oh, remember 30 years ago? Remember 30 years ago? Oh, remember 30 years ago? And we're starting to just get to the point where now that 30 years ago is going to be 2000.
Right.
And we're kind of already there. But right now we're still in this 80s and 90s, like, era of reboots where we have, like, there's a new Ghostbusters movies coming out. They just announced a Gremlins 3. That it's on the way. The redo of X-Men, or the continuation of X-Men 97. Spider-Man 94 has a continuing comic series now, just like X-Men did, which led to the TV show. The Crow had a reboot. Beetlejuice, Tron Ares. Like, it just kind of keeps going. And then that doesn't even count the stuff that, like, is set in that time. Stuff like Stranger Things.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Even the new Harry Potter series that's coming out on HBO is set at the time when the books were published. So it's set in the 90s.
At the time the books were published, not the time that it takes place?
Well, technically they're supposed to take place in the early 90s.
Right. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But the movies didn't really do that.
I guess that's true.
Vaguely, like, their styles were modern. So this is distinctly, it, like, when Harry gets dropped off on that doorstep or whatever, it's the 80s.
Okay. So it is when the books took
place.
Okay.
1991 or something like that. So it's like really early, not necessarily published, but when she wrote at least the first one.
It's when she right
up from there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like, how do we? Are any of these things worth it? Are some of them worth it? Are we nostalgia'd out?
Are we nostalgia'd out? I mean, is it? I feel like I haven't had a break from nostalgia. Like, I feel like the nostalgia cycles are 30 years has been a consistent one for a long time, right? Like, in Back to the Future, he's going back 30 years from 85 to 55.
Oh, good call. Just saw some of Back to the Future on the big screen. Talking about nostalgia.
There you go.
40th anniversary of the movie.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, I have a couple friends who went. I didn't get to go, but that's cool. You got to see some of it.
I saw Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
That's right. Yes.
On the big screen, which was worth it. It was excellent. But it was playing when I was done with that movie, and I had like a half an hour to kill, and there was one person in the theater.
Oh wow!
So I just sat in the back and watched him basically get thrown in the trunk all the way through when he goes back to the future.
Okay, got it. Okay, so the last, that's a good chunk. Good chunk to catch too. So that's been a thing for a long time that I think people have always sort of 30 years is a pretty long as anything. But the nostalgia cycles get shorter too. Where like I feel like in 2012, remember when BuzzFeed first hit, like 2011, 2012, and you would get the BuzzFeed quizzes for like, I don't know, Nickelodeon shows that you watched in 2000 or whatever. And I remember feeling at that time, like, I'm not like that. It hasn't been long enough for me to be nostalgic for that yet, though. Like, it's not, give me a minute to miss it. I feel like I haven't had a chance to miss it yet.
30 years, the mark where you start missing something?
I think for a lot of people it is. Because I think that's long enough to where you've not revisited it in a while, even things that you tend to revisit,
or because you've reached enough into your life that you're longing for a simpler time.
100% that too. Yes.
Like, so if you're watching something when you're 5, let's say, 30 years later, you're 35. You've learned a lot about the world,
of course,
and how it works. Between 5 and 35, a lot has happened. And so maybe watching, I don't know, The Land Before Time
sure,
is the thing that like makes you feel better.
Yeah.
That's like, and that's, I mean, that's okay. But I guess, are we getting lulled into a false sense of security, or comfort
Sure.
by nostalgic watches? This is very dark take on this, but is this like a Brave New World where they just give everybody the happy pills to keep them quiet? But is the happy pill actually just nostalgia?
Nostalgia is Soma.
Yes,
in
you actually remember the name of the pill. Good for you.
Yeah. That's Brave New World. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, totally. I love Brave New World. You know this about me. That's a personal favorite. Yeah. No. In a sense, yes. But this I feel like we've had this discussion too, and you've made the point that a lot of the things you mentioned are reboots, but a lot of them are just sequels. Like Tron Ares or something is a sequel, or
that's true.
Spider-Man 97, 94, and X-Men 97 are really sequels. They're continuations.
Alien Earth, Predator, Badlands.
Yes, like these are all sequels
in universe, not sequels, prequels. Yep.
Yeah, and right, sure, some of them prequels, yes. But like you're so they're not even really. It's playing into the nostalgia, yes. Like you are nostalgic for this thing, and so we'll give you another angle of it or another version of it. But you've made the point, and with remakes as well, you've made the point that like this is what like the film industry has been since the start. They were taking existing things and turning them. I just went to see a screening a few weeks ago of The Phantom of the Opera, the 1925 silent film, which was based on a novel from 15 or 20 years prior. Like, adaptations and remakes and then sequels have just been a part of cinema since the very beginning.
That's true. Well, I guess there's a difference between adapting a pre-existing idea, like how many versions of there's like dozens of Romeo and Juliets out there.
Oh, sure,
right.
Christmas Carol.
You call them right. Christmas Carol is a good one, right? Whether you call them a Christmas Carol, or you call it Romeo and Juliet, or call it something else, it's still an adaptation of the same thing. Titanic is Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, you mean not even actual adaptation? Sorry. Yes, yeah. I see.
And that's on top of just the regular versions of those things that exist. There's another Christmas Carol movie coming out that they're like, casting and filming soon right now.
Yep.
And, but there's also stuff like Spirited.
Yeah.
That's just a Christmas Carol.
It's a Christmas Carol, right? Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah, or like obviously like the Lion King's Hamlet, like any of those. Right. Like, yeah,
it's just like there's like really two versions of that. We get them hit from both fronts: the direct remake and the direct new version, and the intertextualized version. I guess.
Yeah.
Either way, you're getting hit with the same stuff over and over and over again. You're right. That's how the film industry has always worked. However, is that the same? Is like redoing Romeo and Juliet again for the 60th time? Is that the same as Gremlins 3?
Right.
There's a headline for you. Romeo and Juliet, Gremlins 3? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. I don't think it is. I do get a little cynical about that, right? Where I do think it's like there are certain things that start because I think that something like Ghostbusters reboot comes from I really love Ghostbusters and I want to make the version of it for today, like to carry it forward. And if we can get some of the original cast to come back, like great, and whatever, like that kind of stuff comes from fandom. And then there are things like, okay, guys, marketing decided we need to make Gremlins 3. Who are we going to hire to write it? Like there's where did it come from? Did it come from a desire to make an homage to this? Like even something like Superman Returns is a like, I want to make an homage to those great movies that I loved. Right.
Sure. I mean, technically, basically every movie outside of the first generation of filmmakers is homaging films that they love.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is that not necessarily, because then you get Gremlins 3, which I suspect is more of it's time to make a third Gremlins.
Sure, but I think...
Do you know what I mean? Like there's a corporate mandate to make it rather than a creative mandate to make it. And that's what where I think, for me, that's where the difference lies in, like, when is it sort of cynical nostalgia, and when is it the natural progression of, like, the cinema industry.
It's I don't, because let's keep going with Gremlins 3. I just
sure,
let's to keep that going. Someone actually raised the point to me the other day. It's technically always after midnight. So what is the appropriate time to feed a gremlin?
Well, it's always after Labor Day. So when is it appropriate to wear white?
Right. It's like, I don't know. Like 6. Like it's 6 hours. You know, like afterward.
Sure.
Gremlins 3. So you said, like, you know, like Gremlins 3 is like a marketing mandate or whatever. You know, like, we have this IP, we're not using it, so let's throw together a quick movie and maybe make a couple of bucks.
Yes.
Fair. Whoever comes in and directs that could still make it a send to the films that they love, that inspired them. All of a sudden it's Gremlins 3 but Home Alone.
Sure.
Like the films of Chris Columbus, but through Gremlins 3 or whatever. That, and therefore, like, like, are they turning that cash grab into something worth watching or talking about? It's kind of like, did you watch The Studio?
Yes.
Yes. You know that very first episode of The Studio where they're like you have to make the Kool-Aid movie.
Yes.
And then, right? And then he's talking to Martin Scorsese, and Martin Scorsese wants to make a movie about Jonestown,
right?
Where they all drank the Kool-Aid,
right?
And he's like, "This is it. This is how I could make my artsy Kool-Aid movie. I did it. Like, this is the combination.
Right.
Like,
right?
Could Gremlins 3
good pull
be that?
Yeah. But what was the ultimate outcome of that? Like, trying to make
it did not work. No,
right?
No, it didn't. It didn't work.
Which I think is kind of the like that's
can't
what
actually do.
You can't actually really do. It's hard. I'll say it's incredibly difficult to do it. Those things will clash at some point. I do think they can be held in tension, and that you can get something like a 2009 Star Trek that we reference often, right? That is like that was like, it's an IP. It's time to make the next Star Trek, right? Like, let's be honest, it was time to make the next Star Trek. But J.J. Abrams made something that was like you could set that in not Star Trek universe, and it's still a great movie. It's still a good story, and the characters are compelling, and like it has
to send up to Star Wars in a lot of ways.
It is. I mean, yes. But like, point being, even though that one started as a cash grab and was a cash grab and whatever else, like by the criteria that I just laid out, it still is, I think, creatively very good. So you can make something creatively very good, and that is a love letter to the original, and that is influenced by the original, and all these things. That starts as a cash grab, but I do think it's very difficult to do, because there are the ones that we hold up and revere are, I think, the exceptions more than the rule.
So you're saying like Barbie is actually a great exception of making a movie of pure nostalgia that had something to say, but that is but that's an absolute exception.
Yeah,
right? I
think those are the exceptions. I do.
Yeah.
I think there are too many traps that are too easy to fall into, and we're all only human. So they get fallen into, and they make money. So they also, that's another reason they get fallen into, but the ones that do it the least are the exceptions, and are the best ones, I think.
Where does it stop being nostalgia and it just starts being, I don't know, something that is done? Like, say, like remaking Romeo and Juliet. That's not nostalgia. Nobody was around for that. And no one's going like, oh man, I loved doing that in 9th grade. I can't believe that they're doing another one.
Right.
Let's go and watch it.
You don't.
Or like even Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Like it's not nostalgia. The book came out in 1818.
Right.
The most famous of all the Frankenstein films came out in 1931.
Uh-huh.
So it's not really nostalgia. It might be nostalgia for Del Toro, who watched that 31 film as a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe read the novel as a kid, whatever. But for the people who are going to consume the film, I would not consider that nostalgia. So what's the difference? How can we tell the difference?
To me, the difference is it's nostalgia if the audience anchors the thing you're referencing to a particular period in time, or particular time and place. Like, if you saw Star Wars in 1977 in a theater, and for a period of time in your life, thinking about Star Wars made you think about when you were 7 years old in 1977. I would imagine since it has become as commonplace and as ever present as Star Wars is, it's no longer bringing you back to that one point in time. It's not anchored to that one period in time anymore. It's now just like a part of your everyday life. It's part of the air that you breathe. It's just around you, right? When Star Wars is ever present, it's not as much anchored to you to that one point in time as it once was. In 1987, when there had been no Star Wars for a while, when you thought about Star Wars, you thought about 1977. But in 2025, you could just as well be thinking about when you saw The Last Jedi. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking about, you have all these different associations in your life, because that's what nostalgia is. Like, to go back to the psychological thing you touched on, like it anchors you to a time or and place and the things that a simpler time that maybe felt happy for you or whatever. It reminds you of a time for a reason, because that's when it came into your life. And I would argue it stops being nostalgia when it's no longer anchored to that time and it's just like in the air you breathe.
Nope. That's the best explanation I think I've ever heard for the difference between those things. I think maybe that's why we maybe don't turn up our noses at like another Batman remake, or it's like,
sure,
oh, there's going to be another Batman, because there's been another Batman
exactly
almost consistently since 1989. And you could argue that like the gap between 66 and 89, that's probably your biggest gap.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because
you're talking less than 10 years between Batman and Robin and Batman Begins,
right? So
it's not nostalgia; it's just continuing an IP in a different direction. And then from there you've got the Dark Knight, and then from it goes into the DC EU, and from there the Batman, and then the DCU, and it's just going to keep.
Never been more than
going to keep going.
5 years without a Batman movie or something like since the 90s,
that. Right? Since the 90s, yeah. It says that's 2005, I think.
Yes, it was like 8 years.
Would have been 90, 97.
But still, like never a decade since 89.
Which
so like
pretty wild. But like you said, now it's in the air you breathe.
Exactly. It never had a chance to become anchored to one thing.
What about setting a film during something that takes place 30 or 40 years ago, right? So like if all of a sudden, let's say Batman's in the air we breathe, but they set that Batman in 1983.
Okay.
Are they feeding off of nostalgia now? Or like, oh yeah, look, it's original Coke, or, like whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Then you would have a period piece that could be playing on the nostalgia.
Right. And like, when is a period piece not nostalgia and just a period piece?
Right. Right.
If I said a movie in the 60s, it's not nostalgia for me.
Right.
But it would be nostalgia for
our parents. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, like, yeah, it's something that nostalgia is a word that we throw around like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think so much of what, like, to your point, so much of actually what we're consuming, or watching or whatever, a lot of it actually isn't nostalgia. It's, it's just a continuation of a thing if it's not really tied to a time period.
Yeah.
Anybody go to Tron Ares and go, well, did anybody go to Tron Ares?
Ha.
First question. Second question. Got him. Did anybody go, oh man, this really brings me back to 1984 when I watched the first movie?
Yeah, right.
Mm,
A few.
probably not. Maybe.
I don't think any of the people who saw the original movie were there to see Tron Ares.
Probably not.
I don't, or maybe they were the only one. No, I don't think anyone. I don't think they did. Yeah.
The only people that I know that saw it had never seen any Tron movies. That's what I'm going off of. I know people that saw it, and neither of them had seen any Tron movie.
Okay, well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You lost me at Leto, so I don't.
So you haven't gone?
No,
Tron fan.
I haven't seen it. I'm a big Tron Legacy fan, but I wouldn't, like, I'm 1 for 3, I think, on this franchise.
Awesome.
So I'm not saying I'm a fan of the franchise writ large.
You're a fan of a film in the franchise.
I like that. I like a film in the franchise. Yes, very much.
That was like me for a long time with Star Trek, where I had seen Wrath of Khan, like original Star Trek. I had seen Wrath of Khan, and I had never seen any of the other films.
Right.
No, that's not true. I guess I saw a motion picture, but only once.
Sure.
It's not worth mentioning ever again. But yeah, like, oh yes, I like this one film in these 6 films,
Mm-hmm.
not counting the TV show. I don't know if I could call myself a fan of all the films if I've only seen this one. I have since seen all of them except for one of them. So,
which one haven't you seen?
I have never seen Undiscovered Country.
Okay.
Which I will remedy soon.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, just for the sake of it.
He'll get there.
Yeah,
he'll round it out. Yeah. No, this is a very interesting. I like this discourse. I like this exploration of like what even is nostalgia, and then like is what we are reacting to, is it even the nostalgia itself? Like, is it really? Can you call it a nostalgia play to make a Tron movie? Like, sort of,
I guess, but not
really. Like, there was a time when making a Terminator movie was a nostalgia play, but I think we're past that now, because there have been so many of those, that it's not like you're nostalgic for 1984 or 1991 anymore. I think it's
right. Would you like Predator Badlands is another example. First Predator came out in the 80s. Is that nostalgia? Or, because I don't think that many of the people who are going to the film in the first place have seen many, if any, of the Predator films.
Right.
I just saw that Alien Earth was renewed for season 2. I don't know how many people actually watched any of the other Alien movies to get to that spot. I don't like it. It helps to have seen it, but I don't know if that's nostalgia anymore.
It's not. There's a difference between nostalgia stuff and IP stuff, right? Like, that is obviously an IP play. It is making use of an IP, and that's again, sorry for like my sort of business hat on again, but like corporate America hat, but like, it is a like, all right, how can we look at what The Last of Us did. They took a video game and they made it like marketable to people who will never play a video game. Right. And they made it compelling, and because it is a great story. It stands on its own apart from the game. And so they made it a TV show, and it was a rousing success by all accounts. Right. Same for, honestly, Game of Thrones. Like it turned this thing that was a book series that a lot of people would never read, but if you make it a TV show, they would consume it and enjoy it and be very into it. And so like, it is turning an intellectual property into like, how can we make this more broadly appealing, more accessible to more people? And it is doing that with something like Alien, where it's like, what if we like almost abstract it a level away from being a monster movie or a sci-fi movie and make it a drama series that has sci-fi and monster movie aspects to it, But if we make it a good drama series that people will come for 8 episodes and stick around, or however many it is, it doesn't matter what it is, and we're making use of this IP that we've been sitting on.
Yep. Nope. That's right on. Frank, I loved this conversation. Where can the people find us?
beerwithgeeks.com, boogie on over there in your web browser, and rate and review us in whatever podcast app you subscribe to us to. Please do subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe as well. And patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio is the place where you can go to support the show and all the things that we do. Thank you so much for supporting us there.
Indeed. Frank, it's a pleasure to talk to you. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Am I nostalgic for our early relationship?
Oh.
Oh, no. No, I love what we are now. Old.
Old.
Frank, until next time. Cheers.
Cheers.